Lovely. Right, let's get ourselves warmed up then. So just marching on the spot, getting those wrists. And if we can do a third thing, then we can do a nice deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouth as well. Really expanding your rib cage and out through your mouth. Change direction with those wrist circles. Lovely. And then we're going to go into those shoulder rolls. And again, just taking those deep breaths in, getting in a little bit more oxygen than we normally would. Taking those deep breaths. Change direction. Again, really exaggerate those arms. Lovely. Into our hip circles. Really good. And the other way. Fabulous. And then we're going to bring our arms forwards and backwards, bringing those heels up. Lovely. Then we're going to bring our feet out a little bit wider, and then we're going to sort of bring this kind of rainbow movement with our hands, and you're just shifting your weight from side to side, getting a nice inner thigh stretch as you go from one side to the other. So I'm kind of sinking my bum backwards like so. Really good. And then coming up to standing, we're going to go into our half jacks. So just bringing those arms up overhead, tapping out to the side. Really nice. In 2, 1. You're going to come down into a squat and then overhead reach and bring those arms down, a bit like you're kind of stretching, opening up that chest. And again, particularly with squatting, I like to use the analogy of your sit bones coming apart as you go back and then reach up. This means that sometimes if our bums get a little bit stuck, we tend to do more of a hunch down like this, where if we open up the back of the pelvis, can really get into that nice squat position. And just go down to that depth that feels good for you. You can use your chair if you want to. Just do a sit to stand. One more. Well done. Brilliant. So we're going to be doing some circuits. So we're going to be doing 4 exercises in a round. We're going to repeat those exercises twice. Some of them will be kind of one leg on one round and then the other leg on the other round. And we'll go through that together. And we're going to be working for 30 seconds. And then we're going to have about 15, 20 seconds rest, depending on, in and out of the movement anyway. Okay. So there's a bit of flexibility there. Okay. So we're going to start off with our first exercise, which is essentially bringing our arms up nice and high, and then we're going to bring one knee up in between those hands. If you're finding overhead movements too much, because they do require us to have a bit more cardiovascular strength, you can just bring your arms forwards and backwards. Some people can tolerate that a little bit better. Generally, anything where we have to move weights above our head, our heart has to work a bit harder to do. In 2, 1, lovely. Okay, then we're going to go into our cross-body punches. So you're going to nice soft knees, get your boxing guard ready. Okay, and when you're ready, you're going to do like a cross-body punch, like so. So you're getting a bit of rotation. We're getting our core working here. There we go, just keep going. Okay, and 2, 1, lovely. Okay, next up, we're going to be going into a ski erg movement, which is a bit like going skiing. Imagine you've got like 2 wires that you're kind of pulling down, or you've got your ski poles and you want to push yourself back. But again, thinking about those sit bones apart as you pull those imaginary poles or wires down into this movement. But if you keep everything stuck at the back, it all comes from your low back. So you really need to open up your sit bones as you hinge forward and do a little bit of a squat. And then using that exhale as you pull down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull down. Two, 1. Brilliant. Okay. Now with your chair, anyone that is feeling a bit more mobile, flexible, I'll show you a non-chair version. Okay. But we're going to be going into a full lunge. So we're going to be lunging on the side of our chair. Hands are on the chair, and then we're just going to take one hand up to rotate, change sides, and then rotate on the other side. So, and again, even if you can get down the ground, it's quite difficult to do this quicker. And when you've only just doing it on the floor like this, you can drop that knee down if you want to, but it's just a little bit harder. So if you want to just do it on the chair, that might just feel a little bit nicer. Okay, and rest there, well done. Okay, now we know what we're doing, and you might have tried it on the floor and thought, nah, I'm going to do it on the chair on the next round. You'll get the opportunity to do these again. So come back up to standing if you're back on the ground. Okay, we'll go again in 10 seconds. So we're going to repeat those high knees, or those arms out in front of you when you're ready, and go. So we've got our high knees. And again, this routine is very much around getting that kind of more resilience part of strength and stamina. So getting our heart working a little bit harder than we normally would. Okay, and 2, 1, really good. Okay, have a little rest there. Get ourselves into our punching pose. So we're going to get those elbows in nice and tight by our ribs, fists by our chins. Okay, and when you're ready, and go. So you're going to do those cross-body punches. Again, nice and snappy and sharp. Again, movements like this are just nice for our brains and coordination. Mine's okay today. Please, it's not. Really good. And rest there, well done. Okay, next up we're going to go skiing. So we're going to pull those poles back, sit bones apart, and we'll propel ourselves forward. Inhale, and then exhale as you pull down. Really good. Okay, and 2, 1, rest there. Okay, last exercise for this round. We've got those nice sort of full lunges on the side of the chair. So we're in this nice plank position to start, and then you're going to take a big step, take a nice reach up, step back, quickly step on the other side of your chair, step back, Really good. One more. Well done. Okay. That's the end of round one. Grab yourselves a drink. And again, if your fatigue level, if you're feeling really out of breath or anything like that, if this is just enough doing the warm-up in this and you need to go, that's absolutely fine. But make sure you kind of sit down, take some deep breaths, get back in control of your breath, and then just make sure that you do these movements at your pace as opposed to mine. Okay, so our next round, we're going to be going into some POC side lunges. So we are going to be basically lunging towards 12 o'clock on the clock, out to 9 o'clock, and then out to 6 o'clock, okay? We're just going to do one side. These aren't full down to the ground lunges, they're more of an agility exercise to get us changing direction and moving. So when you're ready, just pick one side and do those 3 points to the side. Again, it's really nice doing these because I always find my left side doesn't feel as agile as my right side. Really good. Stepping forward, stepping out to the side and stepping back. Really good. Rest there. Okay, we'll go through the other exercise and we'll do the other side in the next round. So remember which side you've just done. Okay, next up, we're ditching the skis and we're going to have a paddle and go canoeing this time. So feet are a little bit more narrow together and then we're going to use our paddle. Still the same kind of movement where we're sit bones apart, kind of sit back, and we're just using that paddle from one side to the other. Again, we don't want to be using just our back and keeping our bum stuck there. Keeping the sit bones out, really opening up that pelvic outlet. Really great for your pelvic floors. 2, 1, well done. Okay, now we're going to go into a crab walk. With these, I want you to imagine that you're doing like a karate chop at your hips. So you're creating this nice hinge position, bending those knees, and then we're going to walk out to the side whilst also maintaining this position, okay? So you're going to walk to the side and you're going to imagine that you're kind of, if you've got a paintbrush in your mouth, you're trying to paint a really straight line across the wall in front of you. We're not kind of coming up, down, just keeping, you know, crab hands are also optional. Really good. Keep going. Keep breathing as well. And rest there. Well done. Okay. Our next move makes everyone cringe, but it's a burpee. So don't. We're not going to be doing proper ones because I don't like them. But we're going to be using the chair. So I think for everyone, please use the chair. But I really like them because they really get us into this really lovely plank position. We're really pushing through our hands on the chair into this really nice plank. And then we're going to step forward, keeping the bum low, and then we're going to push up onto our toes and reach up as high as we can, and then start that process all over again. Okay, when you're ready, and go. So you're stepping out into your plank, coming through, and then come up, okay? Try and keep your bum low as you come back into your squat, and then you've got that range to thrust yourself up nice and powerfully. You can jump if you want to. Okay, rest there. Well done. They're much nicer than the old way. Okay, right, we're going to go back to the beginning on this round. So whichever leg you did first, we're going to do the other side. Okie dokie. So when you're ready, you're going to step forward, step to the side, and step back. So just keep doing it on that same side. Really good. Okay, one more. All the way through. Well done. Okay, back into our canoe. So feet a little bit on the more narrow side. You're going to grab your paddle and we're going to row from one side to the other. Keeping that sit bones apart, sit bones together. Sit bones apart, sit bones together. Sit bones apart, sit bones together. Make sure you're breathing throughout your exercises. 2, 1. Really good. Okay, back to our crab walks. So again, this isn't about getting this scrunched up position. We want to make sure that we're getting those sit bones apart, holding that position with your hands together, and then just breathing throughout that movement. So we want to use those core muscles, but we also want to use our diaphragm at the same time. So we're not creating unnecessary restriction. Again, closing your hands off just kind of creates a little bit of a closed chain in your body. 2, 1, really good. Okay, back to our nicer burpees. I don't even want to say modified because I just think these are nicer. Okay, so we're going to bring our hands onto our chair. We're going to go into our nice plank position. Okay, get my core really switched on, and then we're going to take big steps and then reach up. You can jump or you can just thrust up into a heel raise. Again, avoid those big jumps if you've got any bones. They're a little bit on the weaker side, but you can still do that nice, powerful movement. Okay. One rest there, well done. Right, let's end of round 2. Grab yourselves a drink. Really nice. Okay. So our final round, the first exercise will be standing, but all the others will be on the floor for those that can go down there. But don't worry, for anyone that can't go down there, I'll give you some chair variations or a wall variation. So there will be a little bit more of me up and downing to demonstrate for everyone, but it's doable. Okay, so our first exercise together are those rainbow lunges that we did at the beginning. Still thinking about sending our hips backwards, okay? So this kind of movement that we've been doing is really great for strengthening your glutes more effectively, because it means that they're in a more lengthened position, and when they're in a more lengthened position, they can get stronger more effectively, much more quickly, particularly when we're doing home workouts. We don't always have a huge amount of weight to throw around. So if we can get that mobility in our glutes and get that length, we can start building and getting stronger and getting that very important muscle mass that we all need. And 2, 1, lovely. Okay, for everyone that can get down the ground, you're going to go down onto your hands and knees, okay? For those that are going to stay up, you're going to be doing a standing bird dog. So you're alternating with your arm and your legs. You're on the floor with me, and you're going to do the same. If you find that you're a little bit too wobbly, then just do the legs. So really like pushing those heels away from you So you're really getting a nice squeeze in those glute muscles. Oops, did the wrong, did same side then, I nearly fell over. Okay, and rest. Lush, right. For those that are on the ground, you are going to be doing a push-up. So you can do a push-up from the floor with the bent knees. You have your knees here and then come up and down. Knees further back and getting into that more plank position. And go down, up like that. If you're on the wall or standing, you can do this variation, or you want to make it a little bit harder, you can take one foot off the ground to kind of make that whole full chain from your shoulders to your feet a little bit harder. So keep going, guys. If you're doing one leg on the wall, just remember which leg you're doing, because we'll do the other leg when we go around in a second. In 2, 1, really good. Okay, right. If you're on the ground, sit on your bum. If you are on your chair, you're going to sit on your chair. We're going to lean back slightly, hands out in front of you. It's the same if you're on the floor. We're going to lean back slightly, and then we're just going to rotate like so, keeping your hands in line with the center of your chest, and just kind of using your hands a bit like a pendulum, or like one of those arrows that kind of go from full to empty. Yeah, if you're on the ground, kind of looks like this. Okay, and rest there, well done. Okay, coming back up to standing. Our last 4 exercises, and then we will have a nice long chill time for this one. So, I'm going to bring our legs a little bit wider, okay? And then you're going to sink your bum back onto that side. So you've got your foot, knee, hip, and then you can use those rainbows with your hands. Again, you can swipe forwards if that feels more manageable for you. And again, go at the speed that feels good for you. If you're feeling a bit dizzy, just take it a bit slower. In 2, 1, lovely. Okay, into your bird dog. So going down onto the ground, onto your hands and knees, or using your chair like so. And again, you're always welcome to just do one set of limbs. Particularly if you're a beginner and this is the first time you've been exercising for a little while, you need to start at your ability. And rest there, well done. Okay, into your push-up variation. So if you're on the floor, you're going to have your hands at the bottom of your triangle and your head is going to aim for like the top of the triangle on your floor. Bring those knees forward a little bit if you need to. And as always, if you're on the ground, apologies, if you're standing, you're going to do the other side. One-legged. And rest there, well done. And then that final exercise, our Russian twist. So if you're on your chair, make sure you're sitting on the edge of the chair so you've got a bit of space to lean back slightly, okay? And then we're going to do those little rotations. Again, just go to what feels comfortable for you. Really good. In 2, 1, and rest there, everyone. Well done. Grab yourselves a drink, towel yourself off, and I'll see you back on the mat in a second. Let's check that time. Lovely. Cool. So I'm going to, for the purposes of the recording, I'm going to do majority of the stretching on the chair, but you're welcome to do it on the ground as well. And I'll, if I need to show you some other variations that don't, what's the word I'm looking for, that aren't obvious, then I will get down and demonstrate. But if you're sat on the ground, you can sit on a towel or a cushion just to tilt your pelvis forward. That often helps people get a little bit more straighter in their back. And if you're on your chair, again, just feeling in through those sit bones, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your jaw. Allow your belly to soften. And then try not to suck it in and hold it in. It's going to be very difficult to breathe if we are, but you'll be very surprised at how many of us do. Okay, so you can soften your eyes. We're just going to do a bit of breath work here. Taking some deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And every time that we take a breath in, I want you to breathe into the spot that we're doing in our body. So we'll do a little body scan. And so we'll start with the crown of the head. So when you breathe in, I want you to imagine that part of your body getting a bit bigger, maybe expanding a little bit. And then as you exhale, I want you to imagine it relaxing, feeling a bit softer and a little bit less tense. Okay, so we'll just start at the crown of the head. Feel yourself get a little bit taller and then exhale. Inhale into the angle of your jaw. And down. And into your neck. Down into your shoulders. And into your chest. And then down into the lateral part of your rib cage. So rib cage down the side. So really expanding as you inhale. Do that 2 more times in this spot. And then down into your lower tummy. And then down into your sit bones. Going down into your legs. Down into your calves. And then down into your feet. Really nice. And then for the next 3 breaths, I'd like you to think about your whole body expanding, even if it's just about a centimetre, just feeling like you're like inflating like a sleeping bag, if that makes sense. Just making that a bit bigger. And then exhale. Just shake it all out. Just have a little shake with your hands and your shoulders, just having this kind of nice rhythmical movement with your chest, you know, like a little shimmy. Lovely. Okay. Then we're going to take a nice deep breath again. We're going to reach up with this in breath as high as you can. And then you're going to exhale, bring your right hand onto your left knee, and then your left hand goes behind you. You can rest it on the floor if you're on the sitting down. Again, you might find that you have a nice big yawn in this position. That's absolutely okay. It's nice, just some nice feedback to tell us that our nervous system is going into a bit more rest and digest. It's always a good thing. And then nice big breath again. Reach up as tall as you can. And then exhale, we'll go to the other side. So left hand onto your right knee, right hand behind. And the yawn just comes every time. Really nice. Lovely. And then for those that are on your chair, you're going to have your legs out a bit wider. Okay. For those who are on the floor, you're going to have your hands behind you and your feet out in front, like bent knee, like this. And then we're going to windscreen wipe your knee in and out. So if you're on your chair, you're on the a little bit on the edge here, but just holding on. We're just getting some nice internal external, get my words out, external rotation of those thigh bones in our hip socket. And again, that internal rotation is really important, particularly for our glute strength. And this is just a really nice one, particularly for anyone who's had abdominal surgery or just generally has hip tightness, hip pain, or anything like that. But we don't want to force anything. Just want to go into those positions to where it feels good for you, but we're not pushing or forcing anything down. So that's not going to feel very nice. Really nice. Lovely. So for those that are on the ground, I'll show for those, we're going to go into a little cat-cow. So just moving our spine here. So sit bones apart, sit bones together. For those that are on your chair, I'll show you in a second, but we're basically going to do that pelvic movement sat down. So for those that are on the ground, you're going to be doing that. And for those on your chair, again, same principle, sit bones apart, sit bones together. Sit bones apart, opening up that chest. Sit bones together as we kind of go into our little scrunched up cat. Lovely. And then just do a little freestyle. So you might just like move your hips from side to side. If you're in your chair, you can kind of just like push one knee forward and the other knee forward. Almost like doing this little chair shimmy. Again, these are nice little movements to do if you sit at a desk or then sat down for a little while. Just to get a little bit of movement through our pelvis. And if you're on the floor, you're just kind of moving in lots of different directions. Lovely. So for those that are on the ground, if you come up and stand up, and if you've got a chair, you can use the wall if you don't, but I'll show you on the chair. So you're going to take a big step back, okay, and drive that back heel onto the ground, and then you can lunge that front knee a little bit, okay, or bend that knee a little bit just to get more of a stretch through the calf. So this is quite nice. And just doing little movements just to feel that stretch. And then take a big step forward. And then take a big step back with the other leg, getting that heel down on the ground. Just getting that movement. Really nice. And then with your feet, I want you to just find the place where you might have to shimmy around a little bit, but you're getting into this kind of like L position with your hands as well. Again, you can do that on a wall as well. So you can just put your hands on the wall, but some people that might not feel nice on their wrists, but you can bend your knees a little bit, and we're just opening up the back of the pelvis a little bit, getting some stretch. This is nice if you've got something to physically hold on to, so you've got a bit of grip, and you can shift your weight back and you can get some nice stretching along the back muscles that kind of come down towards your, sort of onto the top of your pelvis, getting that nice stretch and movement. Lovely. And then come up to standing. Take a nice big deep breath in again, making that big circle, like we're creating a nice big bubble, ensuring that we're keeping our range of motion as wide and as vast as possible. Nice big breath and a big exhale. And you're done. Give yourselves a round of applause. Well done. Fabulous.